Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 10 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to the series, definitely check out some of the older videos. You can find them in the playlist. And if you're a returning viewer, as always, welcome back. We're really excited to have you. We're going to go into a quick recap of episode 9, and then we will get into today's video. So let's go ahead and bring the UI back up. And we're going to have to do this recap kind of quick because we got a couple stranded beavers here, which is not exactly great. But in the last episode, we did a ton of work. We got our battery system up and running, which is great. We're going to have quite a bit of power stored up here. We are working on expanding some of our growable area with some channels, which I think will be really nice. And then we are planning on expanding our well-being over here, which is going to take a little bit of not work, but now that we got this dynamited out, we can really start that project. So let's go ahead and get working on that, just so that we can rescue these stranded beavers, because they are unfortunately stranded, as we have established. So let's go ahead. We'll get a couple sets of stairs up here. I am going to delete this set and throw the stairs in right here. Get a path in like that. So let's get all of this on the highest priority, just so that we can run that path over there. I am going to bump up that that audio just a little bit, but we're gonna have to get those done. Let's go into triple speed. Luckily, these beavers, they should be okay. They're just getting a little thirsty, but once we get them rescued, we should be totally fine. Now, if we go into our well-being, we get the campfire. Should be able to fit a couple campfires right here. I mean, we could fit 3, just like right across the board. And honestly, that would probably be a better use of our space. But actually, what I think we're going to do, yeah, this is what we're going to do. First, we are going to continue our pattern right here. So something like that. Does it go all the way to there? I can't remember. But what I do know is that we are going to... that's why. We're actually going to have a lantern here. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll have that right there. So let's get all of these built. Just get that out of the way. These should be buildable because they are fairly close. So those should get built very quickly. I honestly don't think we really have a lot of other stuff that we are building. But one project that I think we could get started on is just a little bit more triple dynamite up here. And let's just take like this whole... We're just going to bring this back even further. And I think the way that we're going to do this is we're going to do doubles here to kind of bring everything down to the same level. And then we'll do singles all along here. I don't think, yeah, they're not going to be able to reach all of this. So I do think we're going to need, yeah, it looks like actually that's the only one. But then to reach these, they will need some stairs. So we'll get a set of stairs coming down. A path along here. They should be able to reach all of that. And then right here, we will need some stairs down. And then to get this one, we will also need some stairs down. So we'll get working on that. This will take just absolutely forever for them to do, but that's okay. It'll just be kind of a little project for them to work on in the background. So let's go ahead. We'll get a couple more campfires in here. That'll be perfect. As well as more of our pattern right here with a shrub right there. So let's get all of that done. And then if we go into our decoration, we will continue kind of what we had right there with something like that. So we'll get this done because, again, the dynamite, this is not the priority. This is just something that they can work on kind of as we go, as we wait. And we can pause this one as well, this lumberjack area, because it's not exactly a priority. And then once we get the 400 science, I really want to get this contamination barrier so that we can block this off so that the bad water doesn't contaminate this whole space. I think that that will be nice. And then I also want to block this off so that we're not getting contaminated here either. But okay, so all this stuff is getting built. This will be really nice. It'll give us a really nice kind of setup. And then we can also get the hedge in as well. So luckily we've got plenty of resources. Well, I say plenty. We don't have plenty of wood, but we do have a decent amount of wood. And then, that's right, I do need the 5x1, don't I? Because the 4x1 is not quite long enough. So I do need the 5x1. That's going to take 1,000 science. Yeah, that's okay. We got a lot of stuff that we need to spend the science on, which is fine. But okay, so that should really help with the campfire, at least I would think. We still need so many campfires and so many rooftop terraces. But that's okay. We'll get there eventually. And I'm just thinking, you know what would probably be good is a row of floodgates right here instead of the dams. So why don't we actually get that in? So if we just delete, let me see. So if we go levy, 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 and then floodgates right here. Yeah, that would work. So if I just kind of get a path over here, kind of like that, and then what we'll do is we will put in the single level floodgates right here. And that way we can actually raise this this water level above what the dam provides. Because what did we say that this is, like 0.65? I could bring this up to like 0.8, 0.85. We could store a little bit more water in here. Probably not super necessary, but it would look cool. And everything we do is to look cool. And I don't think, we can't build any platforms on top of there, but that's okay. What we could do is probably get a little decoration in here, though. But then again, that is going to block this window. But I guess that's okay. A beaver statue to block a window, I think that's totally worth it. Totally worth it. And we have enough for the contamination barrier. So what I think we'll do is we'll throw some contamination barrier in there. And we'll see if that is enough to kind of block this contamination right there. I think it should be. But then I think we're going to need some up here as well and kind of over here. Somehow, some way. And can we build like platforms on top of this? Oh, we can. Can we put paths on top of it? No, we cannot. Okay. Very interesting. So I think that's going to mean we're going to have to rework this so we can get a nice wall of contamination barriers in. This is for no other reason than it's going to be aesthetically pleasing. Because my thought process is if I could block this contamination, then we won't see this nasty contamination on the ground. Totally not important, other than the fact that it's going to look better. And then we are going to need contamination barriers all the way in here as well. This is actually going to serve a purpose. So why don't we make that the highest priority? And you know what? They're already basically done with this anyway. So Stop soil contamination from spreading beneath it. Okay, now why? Is that because these aren't built yet? See, now I'm just curious. Now we're just doing this because I'm curious. Because I would love to have a line of contamination barriers right here. Which again, does mean we're going to have to shift this a little bit to make it work. But so like these contamination, so do they have to be down on this level to actually block this contamination from coming through? See, this is the stuff I don't know, you know? Was this just a futile effort? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me in the comments because I really don't know. I assume that this will work. Like, do we need contamination barriers down here? I mean, I'm going to put them in simply for the aesthetic of it. Totally not necessary. I'm going to do it. But someone explained to me in the comments whether this will actually work. So if we get that in, and then we get some contamination barriers just kind of right around here, that should block the contamination from spreading under here. Again, that's for no other reason than it's going to look nice, which is most of the reason that I do things in this game. And honestly, I'm just going to delete those. We don't really need them. We don't really need those. What we do need, though, is some more beavers. More beavers would be good. And in order to get some more beavers, we're going to need to build another little housing complex. And I kind of think that this little area right here is like perfect for a little housing complex. So why don't we don't have enough science for the big lodges. So we're going to have to stick with the regular houses. And look at that. We could fit 3 regular houses right here. Maybe something like that. That would be perfect. Or should I sneak them back on top of the dam? That could look cool. So if we get a house in, like right here, and we could actually spin this one, so we could get that house in right there, connect that with a path. Let's get rid of this one. Connect this with a path. And then if we go into our decoration, we could get a beaver statue right there, a shrub right there, a row of hedges right there. And then we have a nice little housing area, just like that. And actually what we could do is we could throw some stairs in right here. Let me see, if I were to spin that like that, delete this one off of there, throw a path in there, and then we could actually get a rooftop terrace right there. So that's a nice little housing area. Perfect. We could also get another one right here. But one thing that I think I do want to do is get rid of that dam, because I don't think that it really provides much benefit. Although I do think we should put this on a bit higher of a priority. Although what I think I'm just going to do is I'm going to put this dynamite on a medium low priority for now. And they're getting all this done, which is really not necessary, but that's okay. That's fine. We're going to get this done. And then we can delete this dam and this dam and replace those just with platforms so that we get a little bit smoother water flow through here. I think that would be good. But we could put another little housing area right here. So something like that. We could get a lodge right there. And then a couple houses like that. And then there really isn't a great way. Actually, I lied. There was a great way. We can put some stairs right there, like that, to then be able to get up there and put a rooftop terrace in. Like that. And then we could just put a 2x2 roof right here. And then all we have to do is put that platform in. Now, the reason I didn't do that is because we are going to get rid of this. And we can get rid of that dam. Just because we do have the one further downstream. And let's get that built as soon as possible, just because it is a fairly important connection. So we will get that built. That should be the highest priority. We do have the resources for it. And we are getting all of these oaks planted, so that's really going to help once the time comes. And I do think, yeah, we actually got this in. So we could start the dynamite process in here, getting a little bit more. So much dynamite. Getting a little bit more water storage in here. So if we did that, this would all just be single dynamite all throughout here. To bring this down another level. And that should all be buildable. Just to make sure that it is, I will just continue this path down here. And then we'll just put a couple paths up here so that they can make sure that they can reach all of that. Again, really not super important. So we'll put this on a fairly low priority because we do have plenty of water stored. This is, again, more of a cosmetic thing that we're trying to work on. So definitely not important. And we did get that platform. Yeah, we did get that platform in, which is great. And then we are actually very close. There we go. So if we bring this up to, let's say 0.8, 0.85, and then we delete this. Did I strand a beaver? Yeah, I totally did. That's really unfortunate. Okay. Well, let's get that set of stairs in so that we can save that beaver from my mistakes. Obviously. And I don't think that this is going to work, this contamination barrier, unless we put it along the back here. And I really don't want to do that because I don't want to remove what's in here. But I'm just going to leave those there because it's really not super important. Oh, we are having major flooding, which is kind of interesting. So this actually brings me to... and is that flooding because I raised the water level? Maybe. Definitely possible. But we are going to have to rip these out because I've done them wrong. And I've been told the correct way to do it in the comments. So we are going to have to rip out all of these. It is going to completely flood our entire area. And where's the beaver that got stuck? Oh, he's in the house. Okay. Okay, well, in that case, let's put this in so that we can save that beaver. I thought he was under the house. Of course. All right, so we'll put that in. That'll be the highest priority. So we'll get that done. We can now delete most of this. Yeah, we can actually delete all of that. So this should work now. This is at 0.85. It's blocking all this water in. We now have a ton of water in here, which is great. And hopefully it'll be stable at 0.85. But anyway, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to delete all 3 of these dams and replace them with dams that will actually function correctly. And it's going to be a mess. Before I do it, I want to get this built, because when I do rip them out, it is going to be the highest priority to get them rebuilt, so that we can actually successfully put them back in at a reasonable pace. And by reasonable pace, I mean basically immediately. But essentially, so they'll get that done, and then I'll just explain what we're going to do. We're going to rip these out because what we need is sluice gates on the bottom, and then floodgates on the top. The single floodgates, just to provide for overflow. So let's see, did they get that done? Yes, they did. All right, so let's completely flood the entire area by deleting these. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And now I think what we're going to do is let's just delete all this rubble. I'm going to pause real quick. I'm just going to delete all this because we don't want it there anymore. So we want sluice. Then we want a couple levels of levees, and then we want floodgates. That's what we want. So we'll come back through here. We want sluice, a couple levels of levees and floodgates. And then here we actually need a little bit of dynamite before we can carry on. But let's get all of this built. And I want that dynamite placed first. Should get placed fairly quickly, but we're just going to completely flood the entire colony until all of this drains. We're also just going to kill all of our crops, which is perfect. And with my luck, we would probably, we would probably get a drought like right now, which would be pretty hilarious. But hopefully we can get this last piece of dynamite built. There we go. All right, so we'll blow that up. Okay, so let's get back to our prioritizing. Prioritize this. And then we need to do the same thing right here. So we need sluice, a couple rows of levees, and single floodgates, and we'll prioritize those. All right, so let's get all of that built. The water has equalized itself. Everything up here is basically dead, which is great. But we got plenty of things to build. We should have enough resources, at least in theory. And okay, so if we come back here now, so these are set at 0.85. You know what? I'm just going to bring them down to 0.8. So these are set at 0.8. So I want the sluices set at 0.75. So they'll be closed when we're above 0.75. Let's just say 0.7, just to keep it safe. And these are going to be set at 0.7. 0.7. There we go. So these will keep the water level at 0.7 at least. And then these floodgates are going to be set at 0.85. There we go. The drought is approaching. Perfect. Outstanding. That's what we love to see. Well, hopefully we can get at least some level of water stored. We have 3 days, so we should be okay. We should be okay. It is just going to take a little while to get these built, but there we go. Some of the sluices are coming in. This is already built. And this will hold water at 0.85, which will be perfect. What did I have this set at? 0.8? Yeah, maybe 0.8. I think 0.8 is a little bit more reasonable. If we can bring it up, we'll try. But I think 0.8 is a reasonable height. If I'm wrong, let me know. But to me, that sounds reasonable. But let's see. While they're working on that, so we've got a couple more little housing projects coming along, which will be great because we have a severe lack of beavers right now. So I think what we'll do, so those are the highest priority. The next highest priority is going to be these housing complexes. And then after that will be all this dynamite. I think we'll drop this to actually be a medium priority on the dynamite as opposed to medium low so that they can work on that. And we should definitely get all this done by the time the drought comes, because we still have almost 2 full days. And this is definitely coming along. So not an issue there. We should, yeah, so we're going to start storing water. It's going to start to fill up, which will be perfect. It looks like this water level is high enough that these have stopped draining. Yep, because the downstream depth is above 0.7, which is good. So this water should start to fill up. Yep, and you can actually see it starting to fill up right here, which is perfect. And we actually got a lot of this dynamite laid. So why don't we detonate a bunch of this out just to bring that down to that level. And then we can delete these stairs and get a little bit more double dynamite in there. That will be good. And I'm just going to put that on medium high priority so that they do that before they do this whole thing. But okay, so the reservoir is filling back up. The question is, how full will it get before the drought? My guess is fairly full, relatively full, I think anyway. And yeah, we just have tons of resources, which is great. I think that this will be the next candidate to replace with an underground pile, and then these, and honestly these. I think if we could get underground piles for all of these, that would be pretty outstanding. And we have so much food. We have so much bread. Bread, carrots, and grilled potatoes, which is that is just outstanding. Honestly. But this is great. So the water's coming up. It's not going to max out the reservoir, which is unfortunate for the growing, but it will still be fairly high. It'll be high enough for most of the stuff to grow, just not these trees kind of in the back. And these should last through the drought, so not a total loss by any means. But we should be good, because these sluices now, we do have a good amount of water on the opposite side. So these should hold fairly well. And we are getting these houses built, so we are getting a fairly decent amount of vacant beds, which is great. And I do like just kind of these little housing areas kind of on the water. I think that those are nice. We could fit them in kind of, you know, any little random place. Like right here would be a perfect candidate for a little house complex. And let me see, actually, is there a way that I can fit multiple houses in right here? Yes, there is. So I could fit a house there. A house there. And then actually, if I take this one out and I flip it, I could put a house there. Let me see. There's got to be a way that we can do this. There's got to be a way that we can maximize these houses. I can definitely put a house here. Maybe like that. And then if I were to... Yeah, maybe just like that. Something like that, and then we could actually put in... No, I don't love that. Something like that, and then like a shrub in behind, shrub there. No, actually. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a set of stairs right there and a path right there. And then we can actually delete those two to get a little bit more carrot in there. Rooftop terrace right there. Little roof right there. I think we'll prioritize those so that we can plant just a little bit more in the way of carrots. But okay, so this, according to everyone who left a comment, and I do genuinely appreciate all of the comments, this is the way to do this. With the sluice gates on the bottom and then either the dams or the floodgates on top to allow for overflow. So, for everyone who left a comment, I greatly appreciate it. I think that we're doing this right. It only took how many episodes of me doing it wrong to finally get to a point where we're kind of doing it right? A lot of episodes. If you wanted the correct answer, a lot. Probably more than it should have. But that's okay. We can delete those. We can get some carrots planted in there just to be efficient with our space, at least relatively efficient with the space. So now we've got tons of carrots. Beehives would be awesome. But I don't have the science because I am waiting to get the 5x1 suspension bridge. And everyone has been telling me to just get an observatory, which is totally accurate. It would fix all of my science problems. And also free up a little bit of space because I could remove these and probably put some houses in there. But considering we have 31 beavers, I think we should probably hold off on adding in tons of extra houses right now. Oh, and awesome. Our batteries are actually functioning, which is great. They're being recharged now overnight. And then during the day, they are being utilized, which is excellent. Definitely overkill on the number of batteries that we put in, but that's quite okay. All right, so why don't we prioritize this housing just as our last little bit of housing, because I believe we got the rest of it done. Yes, we did, which is great. Oh, and we are basically completely out of logs. But I think once these oaks come alive and start getting harvested, that'll pretty much fix all of our log issues going forward, because that'll basically double the wood production, which should be really good. Really good. And this dynamite is just taking ages to get placed, which is interesting actually, because we do have plenty of dynamite. So that is kind of interesting. But anyway, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. 600 science, we're getting there. We're getting there with the science. Really need, what did this cost? 1,000? But then the question is, do I spend the 1,000 on the observatory? Yeah, Probably. Oh, it's so much more efficient on the science. I had no idea. Why didn't anyone tell me how much more efficient it was? It's so much more efficient. Actually, I think you guys did tell me in the comments. You 100% told me, but I just neglected to listen. Which, you know, kind of, I'll admit that's on me. But let's go ahead. I'm going to get a path in here just so that I can lay a little bit more dynamite and get a little bit more of this cleared off. So why don't we kind of go to, we'll say there. And then we will need to dynamite these away. I'll just get rid of those. And then, honestly, I'll do a triple dynamite right there. So let's check our priorities. They finished this little housing. I think we're pretty much exclusively working on dynamite right now. So let's get that done. And then those. And then I am going to need to dynamite this corner away as well. So that will be a high priority. Just so that I can square that off. And then honestly, it would actually be nice to get rid of all of this as well. And I actually think that I can reach all of that. So why don't we do that as well? Maybe triple on this level. Double on this level, and then single right here. Mine as well. We should be able to reach all of that. Yes, we can. So that's very good. And these windmills, we just have so many windmills that it basically makes the batteries just not important at all. Yep, and our water level just dropped, which is unfortunate. But again, we didn't have a full reservoir. And once we get all this dynamite in, we will definitely have a full reservoir, which should help. But okay, we'll get this dynamited away. That will allow us to clean up this path a little bit. Like so. And then we could throw in a little bit more water storage. Not sure if we need it, but probably wouldn't hurt. Although I am going to end up dynamiting this away, which means I am going to end up ripping all of this out. Which is totally unnecessary, but obviously we're going to do it anyway. Because that's just, you know, that's the way we play this game. Is we do fairly unnecessary things because they look cool. But okay, we're just about done. We just need one beaver to come up here. There we go. Here comes that beaver to get this dynamited. So let's detonate that. Can detonate all of this. Perfect. And then I think if we do this and then put this on the highest priority, they should lay this row, and then I can detonate that, and then they should lay the next row, detonate it, and then they should be able to reach these. So that should work. Yep, and that is... oh, they can actually reach it from up top. Outstanding. Outstanding, beavers. That is truly, truly impressive. The beavers never fail to impress. Yeah, these batteries are just not being used at all. Oh, that's pretty funny. At least I think it's pretty funny. And our sluices are definitely keeping this area fully watered, which is outstanding. But okay, so the water is returning. It will quickly flood our little holding area right here and then overflow. I did think about ripping these out. I just don't think I need to. Honestly, they function. This functions the way that I intended. So I'm really not concerned with this one. Although, you know what I just thought about? If I'm gonna dynamite this out one more level, I need to rip these out and dynamite down again. Yep. It's got to be done. So let's get that done so that we can dynamite that out and then put the what are these called? Contamination barriers in. Oh, and I'm not going to be able to dynamite that because there's... All right. Yes, we can. We're going to delete this dynamite. And I don't think we really have the storage for it, nor do we really need it. So we'll do that. We'll dynamite that out. We'll put the contamination barriers back in. We'll relay the dynamite, and then we will be good to go. Dynamite this away. Put dynamite in there. But all right, so hopefully some beavers come down here, get this dynamite done so that I can fix this. Make it look the way that I wanted it to. Originally. Because we need everything to look just so in this build. Everything's got to look perfect. But all right, so we'll dynamite that away. Perfect. Now we will put the contamination barriers in on the highest priority. And then we'll put the dynamite back in, not here. We don't need dynamite in there. It serves no purpose, nor can we actually reach it. But I will put that on a medium-high priority. So we get that done, and then this dynamite, and then they can continue on the dynamite project. But okay. Contamination barriers are back in. That should give us full ability to hold in the contamination in this area, which will be good. We're getting close to that 1,000 science mark, and you guys are totally right. I need the whatever they're called. What are they called? Observatories. Really need those. They are going to eat a ton of power, but that's good because we have way more power than we actually know what to do with. So that is very good. But okay. Getting these built, which is perfect. It is going to take a little bit of time that we unfortunately do not have today because we are just about at the end of this episode. So guys, if you enjoyed it, definitely consider leaving a like and a comment. Let me know some of the things you want me to try out in this series. Anything that I'm doing blatantly wrong that you've noticed in the... you guys have been great about leaving those comments. Let me know what stuff to fix. Subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on this series as well as some of the other ones I got planned. And if you are feeling extra generous and would like to consider supporting the channel on Patreon, you can find the link in the description below. Again, as always, if it will cause you any financial distress, do not support the channel. But if you feel so inclined and would like to support me with the price of a cup of coffee for the month, I would love it. I would greatly appreciate it. It would be super helpful. Anyway, until the next episode, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.